there are some key indicators for when the next recession could happen. Do you know what they are? Hey, my name is Jennings. I'm the team lead for Made for More here in Roseville, California, and I want to cover some, because we hear a lot of talk. When's the next recession going to be? It can't be good forever. And so I've written down some things to be mindful of because if you are buying a house and you want to make the right decision for you or your family, or if you're thinking about selling a house, here are some things to be mindful of. Rule number one, don't listen to the news. Just listen to Johnny. But really, don't listen to them. They've been preaching gloom and doom since 2013. And here we are. So here are some things where you can self-educate and become intelligent about what to look for in the market. Thing number one, this is a crash red flag, is increased inventory. Now what I mean by that is a very specific number. So anything under 3 months is considered as a seller's market. Here in the Sacramento area, we're currently at about 1 month of inventory. So very much a seller's market. Anywhere between 3 to 6 is considered more of a balanced market, equal between buyers and sellers. And anything 6 months or greater is considered a buyer's market. Now, when you get into the buyer's market territory, what happens when it's a buyer's market? Well, prices are going to come down. Buyers have more of the power, so they're going to offer less for homes, and that's when you start seeing home prices dip. But in order for it to be very much a buyer's market, and a real red flag is for it to be 6.5 months of inventory, and it has to be that for on average 3 months or more. So it can't just kind of go up and touch it and then come back. It has to go up there and remain there for a quarter. So that's one thing to keep in mind is inventory levels. Number two is higher interest rates. Inflation, it exists. So we have the Federal Reserve in theory. And if you start seeing interest rates go up and up and up and up to combat inflation, well, that is another indicator that housing prices will come down. The market could see a correction. Why? Because the higher the interest rates, the more expensive the money. The more expensive the money, the less of a loan you can qualify for. So if you qualify for a 3% mortgage today, and then next year it's at a 4% mortgage, well, you just lost a lot of buying power. And I think it's 10%. 10% of your buying power for every 1% in the increased interest rate. So real life example is you're qualified for 400, it goes up by 1%. Well, now you're qualified for $360,000. So just some numbers to keep in mind. So again, inventory and if interest rates start going up, those are some red flags to consider. Here's another one, unemployment. That's data we all have access to. Right now, unemployment is at an all-time low since I started tracking the dang thing. So something to keep in mind, but it doesn't look like 2022 is going to be a bad year for real estate because unemployment is just so ridiculously low, which means people are working and people can buy houses, more competition in the market, you get it. And then another interesting thing that you don't hear people talk about is personal savings rates. So the government, these agencies can actually tell how much money on average people have in their bank accounts, and we're at pre-COVID levels. So there wasn't a hit. Saving rates did drop because people were freaking out, people were losing jobs, there was a lot of economic turmoil and unrest during COVID, but now nationally, and again, if you're still going through this, heart goes out to you, but nationally, we're back to pre-COVID levels in those savings accounts. So again, that's another key indicator that if those saving rates go down, people are burning through their cash, they can't buy a house, you can see the market kind of turn. But right now, it doesn't look like it's going that way. So to recap, number one, months of inventory has to be 6.5 months of supply for longer than 3 months. Number two is interest rates. If they start really ratcheting up those interest rates, that's something to keep an eye on. Number three is unemployment. If that increases, that's no bueno. And number four is your personal savings rates. How much money do people have in the bank to buy a house? If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or my team. We're always happy to help. Take care.